So we bought this 2007 U-Haul truck, and it has been turned by my great husband here into a DIY camper van.
Now, it took me a while to build it, but we are going to take all of those clips of building this thing and put it into one video so you can see the whole process here in this one video. Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple,
live free. This was a project. I worked on this thing for 5 months. We started right from the very beginning, and I documented every step along the way, and it's in a playlist here on this channel. I haven't even checked. I think there's 30 some videos in the playlist of every single step process that we went through. So I just sort of took a small clip of each one, put a conglomeration of, so you can see the entire build in this one video.
Yeah, when we got the truck, it had white paint on it, and that was it.
It was an open box truck,
yeah.
Just sold by uHaul.
Yeah.
So, want to see it?
Yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah, here we go. So I started it up, it started right up and it's purring. I thought I'd lift the hood and look at the engine. You can't see a thing. The engine is buried way down inside of there. But it's a 5.8, I think, V10. And it sounds really good, nice and smooth. Well, we did it. We bought a truck, going to convert it into a camper. It's an 07, 122,000 miles on it. It's an old U-Haul. And V10, purrs like a kitten. And not a drop of rust anywhere on it. Right in there like that. So now I got to do the same thing down here at the other end. So now it's all solid. It's not going anywhere. Come here, dear. What do you think?
Oh, okay, cool. That looks great. Oh, yeah.
Is that going to work?
That's very solid. Look at this. Woohoo!
Now we don't have to carry a stepladder around with us. Well, there we go. A hole.
Make sure I'm not in the way here. Ha! Like a glove.
Just like that.
Woohoo! Oh, that is so cool.
So here it is from up above. I did this yesterday, and since then it's rained on it. Got some leaves on it, but you can see here I sealed it with butyl tape all the way around and screwed it all the way around, and that seems to be working. I'm excited to be able to start to use this thing. Even when we don't have the power, I can still at least crank it open manually like that. Of course the fan doesn't work, but that at least gives me a roof vent that I can do manually. Well, there it is. If I cut it too big, It is what it is, but I really don't think I did. Haha, it fits. The screen door, so
Yeah.
we're getting there.
And that, even when it's closed, gives you a little bit of light coming
Yeah.
in. Yep.
And actually, we did this just in time. I finished that just in time because we're actually leaving on our first road trip in this thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, our first not quite finished primitive, but good adventure.
Yeah. There it is, at least half of it. The cab and the box on the back are not attached. They're separated by about 4 or 5 inches. So I had to put this rubber gasket in there to seal that gap. See, that's why I wanted to cut an angle instead of 90 degrees, because it goes around that corner a little easier, I think, right there. And there we have it.
If it's really bad weather.
Yep.
Okay. Ready. See, that gets faster all the time.
You happy with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good. Well, we've obviously got a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
But everything that we do like this takes it one step closer, makes it more of a reality and not just a dream in my mind.
Yes.
A couple of episodes ago, I cut through that pass-through door and put the sliding door there up into the cab. And when we did that, we had a major surprise that's going to mean we're going to have to completely rethink what we're doing here in the back of this box truck. But here's the problem that we discovered after we cut that whole the pass-through into the cab. The noise. Every time we hit a bump, it's so loud that it's unbearable. We were going to leave that roll door in place so we could open up the back of the RV. That'd be cool. But now we're going to have to replace it with a solid wood wall that doesn't rattle. Got the first set of hinges off. Let's see if we can get this panel off. Okay, it's just going to go.
We'll try it. Here, put your hand on here. Get it. I think we gotta go pretty much even. Oh, I think they're heavy. I don't think they're that heavy.
No, they're not. It's not that heavy. Drop it down. There you go.
Oh, we can do it that way. Alright. Let me get on the other side so I can see when that thing is gonna come off. Alright. There we go.
Very cool. Nothing to it.
That's too easy. Let's put it back.
So now that I have the roll door out, I have to figure out how to attach the wall that I'm going to build in here. All right, third coat finished. So now the back wall is finished, and I finished it just in time because Dan will be coming over today to help me install the mini split air conditioner heat pump system on this back wall.
Okay.
Looks like a refrigerator truck now. Looks like
Ice cream truck.
ice cream truck. Yeah, looks like I'm delivering vegetables. My refrigerated truck.
All right, now.
So we got to put the pipe through here before we attach it to the bottom end.
It should open up. No, it's picking up speed.
Okay, fan's working.
Yeah.
So
Set at 79.
So you just bring the temperature down?
Down if you want. Now, I might have a little bit of a delay on the outside. Let's go see if it's feeling cool. I think it's running. I can feel it.
Are we ready? Mm-hmm. That's my son Barry helping me with this. We had to weld a couple of brackets in there in order to have something to bolt the steps to.
Okay, that's good. Go ahead and give me a bolt. And I'll just see where it's at. I'm just going to take a nap right here.
So, ready to take it out, the jack out?
Yep. I'll scream if it falls.
Yeah, okay.
Moment of truth.
There we go.
Right there.
That's a beautiful thing. Absolutely. It's got like a quarter of an inch clearance.
Don't get any mud on the tread. It won't shut.
Yeah. Well, that'll clean the mud off.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's my mud scraper.
All right.
Excellent.
All right.
So it's finally time for me to start construction on the inside of this box truck camper. Now this shelf up here that goes out over the cab, the floor of this is just one thin little sheet of metal. So I want to fur it out and I want to put some insulation in there just to make it warmer or colder depending on the season and to help with the sound a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of weight on here to hold that down, and then this actually has a 24-hour cure time, so that means that I'm not going to be driving. It's noon right now. I'm not going to be driving this until tomorrow morning. Give this time to set up. I think that'll work. That was cut to the exact size, so I had to get it in there straight. Yeah, man, that'll work. Okay, it's been several days now, and the kill mat has finally come in. It looks like this. It's self-adhesive on the back. And when I first started looking into this, I just assumed that it was some kind of acoustic deadening, like a acoustic panel that you would put in a recording studio that absorbs the sound. But that's not the way this works. Apparently, when you're driving down the road, the metal sets up little micro vibrations all over the place like this, and it's the micro vibrations that cause the sound, that cause the roaring sound of the road noise. So this actually does not absorb the acoustic sound. What this does when you put it down is it stops the micro vibrations so that it stops the road noise that way. And so if it was just acoustic filtering, you would have to cover every square inch, otherwise you'd have areas where the sound is still coming through. But because of the way it works, you only have to cover at least 75% of the metal to stop the vibration, and then that in turn stops the sound. Now you want to make sure this is well adhered to the metal below, and so I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are little bumps, little ridges here. And you use a roller like this to roll it out and make sure that it's tight to the metal. And when you do that, yeah, it flattens out those little bumps. Over here I can feel them, and here they're flat. So I'm going to go all over the whole thing with this little roller and make sure that it's adhered very well to the metal underneath. Now this is the insulation that I will be using here. This looks like regular fiberglass insulation like from in a house, but it's not. This is Havelock wool. It's much better than fiberglass. For one thing, you can handle it. It's not itchy like fiberglass is. You don't need any special protective gear or gloves or anything like that. So it's much more pleasant to use. If you've ever used the fiberglass, you know how awful this is. Also, this is R7, and wool is naturally moisture and mold and mildew resistant. If it does absorb any moisture, it's still going to have insulating qualities, and it dries out quickly. So that's a good thing. Also, there are other things that I could use here, but this is much better in sound deadening qualities. So that's why I'm using that. I could also use just a regular 4x8 sheets of foam board insulation that a lot of people use, and that does a pretty good job of insulating, and it doesn't absorb moisture, but it does absolutely nothing for sound absorption, and that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to use the Havelock wool here. Okay, so I've got all the wool there installed, so now I can put on the plywood deck and screw it down permanently. What do you think, dear?
Looks pretty good. It really does. It looks comfortable. I think you're going to have enough room to move around nicely.
Yeah, that's the question. So I'm going to climb up there and see how much room I've got. Of course,
It feels good.
I don't have the steps here on the wall yet, so I have to use a ladder to get up there. Obviously, I can't sit up. when I'm here, but I've got plenty of room to roll over. Ice cream! Get your ice cream!
Oh, it's gonna look just like an RV.
Here's the moment of truth.
Oh, that's awesome. That is just awesome.
One little spot right here where it's a little bit too tight, and I'd rather have it that way than the other way around. One tiny little spot right here where I gotta trim it. I'd rather have it that than the other way around. Okay, make sure it's the right way. Push the top up first and then the bottom should slide in.
Not in yet. Oof.
Just hold it there now while I go screw it up.
Okay.
So I got a Carly helper out here instead of Elizabeth.
Hold the ladder at the bottom. Yeah, honey, let her know where to push.
I will.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah, right there in the center.
Let her have to have a heads up.
Just don't go into my hand. That'd be nice.
No, it won't go that far.
This is gonna be awesome. The air, I can feel the air moving through. And this is gonna be like, I can picture like being on the seat here. Just kind of, I can't sit down here, but being able to see out like both sides. And if we just need to have the windows open at night, I'll be sleeping here. I'll have this lovely cross breeze. And we can open them when it's raining. Oh, I like them, hun. This is awesome. It's starting to really feel real.
Looking.
Yes.
What do you think?
I love it.
Adventures in a Box truck.
I love it. That's our motto for Harvey the RV.
The roof on this thing is just thin aluminum, and I really didn't want to put any holes in the roof, and I didn't know if that aluminum was going to be strong enough to hold the solar panels. So I found these roof racks that actually attach down on the side instead of on the top, and it worked really well. So now I've got the first 3 panels laid up here. I wanted to get them all in place and make sure that they actually fit, and they do. How's that? Once again, dumb luck that they all fit. Not exactly. I knew the width of each panel and the width of the truck overall, but before I ordered them. But it's just nice to actually see it work. I wanted to put all 3 of them up here before I started attaching one to make sure that I get them centered on the rack there, and this is looking very good. So there are a couple of reasons that I wanted to install the solar panels on the roof. One, of course, is to save a little money by doing it myself instead of having Jeff do it for me. But the main reason is because we are going to be driving out to Utah to get the big solar system installed, and on the way out we want to be able to have power. So I wanted to be able to charge up our little solar generator here. And if I plug this into the dashboard, it's very slow. It takes like 20 hours to charge, and that wasn't really acceptable. And I do have one portable solar panel that I can plug into this. I can't be doing that while I'm driving, and it's only 100 watts. So I wanted to put it on the panels on the roof so that I can charge this while we drive. That way we can do not only computers, because I still have to keep my business running, but also our refrigerator for our food on the way out and that sort of thing. Now there's actually one other advantage to having these solar panels installed like that, and that is that it keeps the entire truck much cooler. How do solar panels keep it cooler? That's a big shade tree up there. Because of the way it's mounted, they're off of the roof and air can go underneath of it. And it means that like 3/4 of the roof is now covered in shade instead of blazing sun. It's like parking under a shade tree. Well, dear, solar panels are done.
Yep. I think it's looking like an expedition vehicle.
Yeah.
I love
it's
it.
actually charging our little solar generator on just half of the panels that are up there. So
pretty cool.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely changes the look of it.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for a few days now. I've been driving it around, and 3 times somebody approached me and said, "Cool rig." That never happened without the solar panels on it. I think, like she said, it makes it look like a real serious expedition vehicle,
Yep.
even though it's not 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
And I don't want the wire just laying on the bare metal. All the vibration of the road, the rubbing wouldn't be good. So I'm putting it here on top of the insulation to protect it from the metal and the road vibration. So in an effort to eliminate squeaks going down the road, I'm going to glue and screw this subfloor down. Now I've got all the OSB cut, laying in place. Battery's dead. Well, that was a bear. When I got through, I broke 3 pilot drill bits trying to get through there. That's not just a piece of aluminum. It's corrugated like this to make it stronger. But it actually went through faster than I really expected or feared that it might be. So now I'm ready to start running the plumbing. Connection I have to make. This elbow, I got to put it in there and get it on there. This is the most difficult part because I have to glue both sides and then get it pressed into place and get it in at the right angle, and I only have maybe 15 seconds to do that before the glue hardens up and I can't move it anymore. When you first put it in there you can move it, but it doesn't take long for it to harden up. So I got to put glue here, got to put glue here, which goes on there, press it all together at the same time. I always hate this part of it. It's always really stressful to make sure you get it in the right angle before it hardens. I'm not going to be able to film this because you see I can't even see it. I got to do it all by feel, which makes it even more difficult. There's no way to get a camera down there. Here's the finished plumbing. Main structure of the shower is now finished. So now I got the shower all framed up, I got the moldings in there and everything's caulked. So now it's time to waterproof this. It's called Flex Seal Liquid, and it is a rubber, liquid rubber. You put it on and as it dries it actually turns into a coat of rubber. Now that I have the second coat on here, I really like this. This is really going to work. This does not feel hard like fiberglass or paint. It's actual soft rubber. You can feel the soft rubber. It's really kind of unique. So it's definitely going to be waterproof, and I definitely think it's going to work. I'll be using 2x2s for all of these studs, except for right here I have a floor to ceiling cabinet that's going to be attached to the wall. I'm using a 2x4 here, so I have a nailer or something to screw that, to attach that cabinet to. Oh, this is really hard on the arms, holding them up like that. Wow. So as you can see, I'm now finished with the stud walls all the way around. Got the shower installed. More studs up there. So now I'm actually ready to start on the wiring. And if you watch previous video when I did the floor, I do have some wires that I already installed here that go underneath the floor. But I got to put in all the switches and receptacles. I'm going to have 110 regular house type 110 receptacles. I'm also going to have a variety of different kinds of 12 volt USB ports, things like that. All of the lights will, for the most part, be 12 volt. And so I got to get all that done, all the wiring done, before I can insulate and then put the wall covering up. All the batteries and the power inverter and all of that stuff will be over here in this corner. So I'm running all the wires over to here, and then after I get to the uHaul and I get that system installed, then we can hook all these wires to it. Now I have to use adhesive to glue it to walls, otherwise as I drive down the road all the vibration over time it would all settle to the bottom and that wouldn't be a good thing. So what I'm using here is automotive headliner adhesive. And you spray it on, and this is what you would use to replace the headliner in your car. And it's contact cement. So I spray it on here, and I spray it on the back of the insulation, and then I give it 5 minutes to dry, and then I do a second coat, give it at least 5 minutes to dry, and then you just press it in place and it's stuck solid. All right, there it is. So now I got the insulation all finished in the walls and in the ceiling, all the way around. By the way, I put this up here once first to make sure it fit before I put the glue on it. Because if I got it all gunked up with glue and it didn't fit, and I had to take it down, that would be a problem. I got the paneling in, and so now I'm going to start putting in the kitchen cabinets. These are cabinets that I bought online, and I had to put them together, which is a good thing because that one fit through the door. But this one does not. The door is exactly 24 inches wide, and this panel is permanently attached. It's not a drawer. And this is 24 inches from there to there, so there's this extra. It wouldn't fit through the door. So I brought it inside to assemble it. And these are, for assembled cabinets, these are really substantial. They're plywood. I really like them. They're going to hold up to the road vibration. So I'm going to start mounting the cabinets, which is really exciting. But before that, I got to do the plumbing here, bring it down, and then cover this with Luan before I can put the cabinets on. And then I also have to cut holes in the cabinet where the plumbing comes from here inside of the cabinet. So this will be the next job. I do have the shower head installed now, and it does have an on-off button right there. I did take the doors off so it's a little lighter and the doors aren't flopping around on me.
Cool.
Now I'll put the doors back on. We can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that I got those in, I'm ready to put in the bottom cabinets, and I've got to drill a hole right there for that sewer line right there. Well, there's my mark right there. I don't know if you can see it, but I hope it's right, because here goes. Now I have the electric in for the hot water heater. I have the two hoses for hot and cold going to the shower. And I have the sink drain. This is moving like that because it's on that flexible pipe underneath. Once it's locked into the sink, it won't do that anymore. Well, dear, kitchen cabinets are in.
Yes.
What do you think?
Oh, they look so good. Huh?
Yeah.
It's starting to it's feeling more real all the time.
And things are moving faster now that I'm doing bigger stuff like this
Yes.
instead of those tedious, nitpicky little
Yes.
infrastructure systems stuff. So
Yeah.
it feels good to actually make some progress.
I like the drawers. They seem very sturdy. It really, here we go.
We need to put knobs on them.
Yeah, I don't have knobs yet. So no, I am happy as a lark with these. And it looks so nice.
Yeah. Now, in order to make this work, I'm going to have to get the dimensions exact. And so, like Jethro from Beverly Hillbillies would say, this here's going to take a heap of ciphering. And I've done a heap of ciphering. I've drawn it out on paper. I don't know if you can see this because it's light pencil, but I've drawn at least 5 or 6 different plans. I think I've got it down. One of the things that I wanted to do, many dinettes for RVs have the seat and then the back goes straight up. That's very, very uncomfortable for me. It's okay if you're sitting there to eat supper or if you're sitting there working on your computer like an office desk. But to sit there and lounge and read a book or something like that, it hurts my back when the seat back goes straight up. So I tilted it back a little bit. I didn't know how far to do it, but I measured some of the chairs in my house to see how far back the tilt is, and I'm just going with the best I can figure. So that adds a little bit more complication to this, but I think it's going to work. And I have to design it in such a way that I can get underneath, because on one side is the freshwater tank, and on the other side is all of the solar components and the batteries and the solar controllers and all that kind of stuff, and I have to have access to that as well. So I have here a 30-gallon freshwater tank, and this is where that's going to go. I'm not going to hook it up right now, I just want to make sure it'll fit. It shouldn't have any trouble. Oh yeah. Tank fits down there easily, and then there's room behind it for the pump.
Any issues? That should fit exactly.
Now there will be a board here,
Okay.
you know, that'll help.
Well, sure,
screen it.
because of this thing right here.
Is that too wide?
No, I think it's okay. And if I'm working at the table, I'll be leaning forward a little bit anyway.
All right, dear one. Tell me what you think.
Oh, cool, look at that. Oh, get the door shut here.
Of course, I still have to build up the floor in the middle so our feet don't dangle.
Yeah, the floor's gonna be built up with just a little strip across the front there.
Yep.
Oh, I think the view out the window is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be good when the floor's a little bit up here, but this is so cool.
You just pull it out. Hole on each side where you can grab it. Sit it right like that. And then these are a little tight. You're going to push it down in, which means that they're not going to slide around while you're sleeping on them.
Actually, I think they're supposed to be kind of tight.
Yep.
That way it doesn't go anywhere while you're sleeping.
My ciphering worked out.
It's beautiful, hon. And these are they'll stay together. It'll feel like a mattress.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm just gonna. So it's really strong.
Mm-hmm. Wait.
Don't do that.
So, you think this is going to work?
Now that I'm sitting here with you, putting the floor in,
Yeah.
the raised floor, it's very comfortable. I am really comfortable sitting here. This is going to be a nice height for working on the computer or for eating. I'm thrilled.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Oh, you're very welcome. That's going to be beautiful.
Yep. Let's go in and see how it fits. All right, dear one. Let's see how this thing fits. Oh no. Just kidding.
Oh, that's not funny.
Pretty deep. Well, now let's see if it fits. There it goes. Dropped right in. Perfect fit. Excellent. Now this is an IsoTemp 4-gallon hot water heater. I haven't used it yet, obviously, but it came highly recommended by my friend Jeff out in uHaul, who will be installing my solar system for me. And it is a 110 powered heater, so you have to turn on the inverter in order to get the power. But here's what I really like about it. This particular model, you can actually hook up to the radiator through these nozzles right here, and so that when you drive, the engine coolant is actually running back through here and heating the water for you, which is really amazing. Let's set this sink in place. So, dear one, what do you think of your new kitchen?
This is just coming along so beautifully. I love it.
So now I'm going to finally be able to start on this last project, which is a floor to ceiling cabinet that the refrigerator will go in and a bunch of extra storage and all that kind of stuff. It's where we'll keep our clothes and that sort of thing. Now I'm putting a shelf right here, and this is where the refrigerator will sit. And the refrigerator is fairly heavy, so I didn't want the shelf just kind of tacked in from the end. So I put this wood all the way down to the bottom on both sides to give it a real solid base to sit on to hold the weight of the refrigerator, especially when it's full of food. So that goes right in there, and then it's fully supported all the way down to the floor for the refrigerator to sit on. See how this thing works. It locks in different places, so yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. And when we're done with it, just push it right back in and it locks in place. I love that. desk for editing videos. That's gonna work.
Okay, Bill has now finished this awesome storage unit. Now, obviously, it's not painted yet. It's going to get fixed up a little bit more, but there's just not time before we do our trip. But all I really care about is the functionality, and I'm very happy with this. It's designed so that not only does this fit in beautifully, but the milk crates fit in too deep. And so we're going to be putting our clothing in these. There will be 6 of them. And he's going to have the top one because he can kind of reach into the back to pull the second milk crate out a little more easily than I can. Now, we are absolutely, before we leave, going to have this set up so that there will be like a place for a bungee or some kind of strap to start at the top and come right down and hold these in. So that is going to be taken care of.
Now at this point, it's not finished yet, but most of the major systems are finished, a couple that are not yet. But we're out of time because we have an RV trip planned that I've been pushing for months to get this thing done before we go to our RV trip. It's a 6-week trip out to Utah and Colorado, and obviously we've done that now, and it was a fabulous trip. So what do we have done so far? The dinette and the bed are in place, so there's sleeping, and the other bed up on top of the cab is done, so we have sleeping there as well. The refrigerator is working. All of the lights are installed and working. Most of the receptacles are in. Some of them still need to be done. The HVAC system is installed. It works. But the solar system is not complete yet. Okay, I put the solar panels on the roof, and we have one of those little solar generators, box about that big. And the solar generator gets charged by the panels on the roof. And when I plug in the HVAC system to that little generator, I tested it. It does work. It runs great, but it only lasts for about an hour and the battery's dead. So that's not going to be enough to run the HVAC air conditioner while we're on our trip, at least initially. That little generator is enough to completely power the lights, charge our cell phones and our computers when I'm doing editing and all that kind of stuff. Also, the plumbing system, the sink is installed, the shower is installed, all the plumbing is installed. I have the gray tank underneath installed. The fresh tank and the water pump are not done yet, so we don't have water yet in the sink or the shower. But here's the plan. We're going to head right straight to Utah. I have a friend out there named Jeff who builds vans professionally, and he's going to install the complete solar system for us, which is a large system. And then while he's out there doing that, I'm going to finish up the plumbing, install the pump and the freshwater tank and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as that's done, we should have air conditioning and everything, and the water, the shower, everything we need. And we're leaving here from Virginia. It's only going to take us 3 days to get to Utah to get him to do that. So we don't really need the shower in those 3 days. We can make do. So we're very excited about getting it done. Everything else that still needs to be done, I'll have to finish after we get back. It's a lot more painting on the inside, all of the molding to make it look better, the tile on the floor, those sorts of things. But like I said, all the major systems are working, or will be by the time we get to Utah. Oh, and some of you may be wondering, I mentioned the sink and the shower and the gray tank, but I didn't mention a black tank or a toilet. So what are we going to do about that? We're not going to have a black tank or a built-in toilet. We're going to have a composting toilet, and it's small enough that it'll sit right in the shower. And then when we need the shower, we can just lift it out, put it on the floor, take a shower, and then put it back in. And that way, it's infinitely easier, and we don't really have the room for to install a permanent toilet anyway. So the gray tank and a composting toilet, it's going to work great.
So everything's not totally finished, but we are at the point where we think it's going to function well enough, and we have got to get on the road. So as you can see beside me, we're getting all packed up. We're leaving tomorrow, getting everything all packed up. There will be more things that'll be finished when we get out to Utah. But, you know, in the meantime, we feel like it's going to work to get out there.
So today I'm going to the shop of my friend Jeff here in Utah to start the solar install in our camper truck. Now Elizabeth is not going to the shop with me because it's just going to be a work day with Jeff. And this is not something I would ever do, but she's not here, so I'll do it for her. I want to introduce to you my friend Jeff that I have been talking about forever. He's going to be doing the solar install for this camper van. And this is his shop. And I've known Jeff for, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, something like that. So this is Jeff's shop. He's got tools back there to be making cabinets and stuff like that. He's actually got quite a bit of room in here compared to his old shop. There's 2 vans that he's working on. Usually he has a third one parked right where my truck is. So he's got plenty of room to fit 3 vans at a time in here as he and his sons work on them. Yeah. So we got a tight spot in here, but I knew that. So we got 2 batteries there. And
yeah, so these are 280 amp hours each, so it's a total of 560 amp hours, which is a really good size system. And then we've got our 3000 watt inverter here, which is what takes the battery DC power and converts it to AC to run your outlets. And then this is a distributor, a shut-off switch. This will be your alternator charge controller, and this is your solar charge controller. So we'll be mounting all of these. These 2 will probably be mounted on the walls. We'll mount this one on the floor, and then we'll just be connecting all the wires to everything. And then all these wires are what Bill has pre-run for all of his circuits, both AC and DC circuits. We'll connect all those to a breaker panel, and we'll be good to go.
so when we're done, I'll be able to have 3-way charging from shore power, from solar, and from my alternator from the engine, when the engine's running.
Yep.
So that's cool. Now I did everything on the plumbing already except for hooking up the fresh tank. So while Jeff is working on the solar, I'm working on the plumbing. So this is the pump system. The water's going this way, so it goes into this filter before it goes into the pump. And then this is a pressure tank that helps maintain the pressure a little bit so the pump doesn't cycle quite as often. When I do a well system in a house, I have a pressure tank like this that's about at least 30 gallons, if not more. This one is such a cute little thing. I've never seen anything so small. And then it goes from here to the shower or the sink or whatever. Those are big wires.
They are. The 4/0 stuff is really not fun to work with. So this is our DC coming into the inverter. And then we'll be hooking up AC in, which is our shore power. You'll be able to plug in outside, and that will provide power into this, and then this will convert it from AC to DC to charge your batteries, and you'll have AC out here, which will run your electrical 120 volt outlets. But this guy is really important to be able to have the ability to charge from shore power and to run 120 volt devices.
So we now have both systems completely finished, and I'm so excited. All systems go. We got the electrical, the solar system over here. We got the the freshwater tank over here. And Jeff is going to show me, I know nothing about this. As I said before, I can wire a house, but I don't know anything about DC. So he's going to go through the whole thing, show me all the components. I'm going to film it just for myself, for future reference when I don't know what's going on. Maybe I can figure it out.
We're going, okay. So right here we have our lithium batteries. These are 260 amp hour batteries. These are 280 amp hour batteries for a total of 560 amp hours. And so we have these 2. wired together to create a battery bank. And then this is our distributor. This is called the Lynx distributor. It has 4 different fuse locations, and we have these are fused and going to our different components. And so we have and if a fuse was ever to blow, one of these lights will come on. You just take a screwdriver, pull this cover off, and you can replace the fuse.
Are those fuses easy to find?
So they have them at automotive stores. They're called mega fuses. Okay. If you just pop it out, take it into an auto parts store, they'll have them.
Okay.
And just get the same size fuse that it'll be printed on that fuse.
Right.
And so we have one of these fuse locations going to the inverter charger. One of them is going to our solar charge controller. One is going to our alternator charge controller, and the other is going to our DC fuse panel. So those are our four different locations.
Now, obviously, there's a lot involved in the solar system, and Jeff spent about 15 minutes explaining it all to me, so I had a clue of what's going on there. I'm so glad I hired him to do it. That's the only thing that I hired out. Because, you know, I'm an electrician. I've been building houses for years. I can wire all kinds of houses. But I know virtually nothing about solar systems and the controllers and all those kinds of things. I could have done it if I had done a lot of study and found wiring diagrams and all that kind of stuff. I just decided to just let him do it. And he did it in an afternoon. So I am so glad I let him do it for me. So this is the fill hose right here. Comes in from outside, goes into the tank. And then there's another hose down there at the bottom right there. And if you follow that around, that goes into a filter right there and into the pump. And then into, this is actually called an accumulator. And then from there, the hose comes up and goes over to the sink and the shower. Pretty basic system. This is a vent hose that goes all the way up high so water won't come out, and then back down, and right there goes down through the floor. In case there's ever an overflow, it won't flood the inside of the camper, it'll drop out onto the ground instead. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for such a stellar job.
Thank you.
I'm really excited about this. This is going to allow us to be self-sufficient out in the desert, out in the mountains, wherever we go. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, it would be totally off grid.
So just to report on how this all worked out with the solar system, the batteries, and the HVAC system. I couldn't be more pleased. As part of our trip, we were going through southern Utah, and there was one section where we hit a sign that said no service for the next 150 miles. And they were correct. So we were actually about halfway through that, about 75 miles into that. So we weren't near anything, anywhere, when we pulled over for the night in BLM land, free boondocking. When we pulled in that evening, it was 105 degrees. We turned the air conditioner on. It kept it nice and cool inside, and that AC ran all night long. I was so happy. And then the next 2 weeks later, we were up in the mountains in Colorado, and we had to turn the heater around. You know, it's just like a heat pump in a house. You turn it around, and I got heat out of it because it was down into the 40s at night. So we used it for air conditioning in the desert, and we used it for heat in the mountains. Turns out that battery bank will run the HVAC for about 14 hours. So that's more than enough to get through the night. And then the next morning, it'll charge with the solar. It'll charge, if we're driving. And of course, if we're in an RV park, it's plugged into shore power, so that isn't an issue. But overall, it worked even better than I had hoped. Solar system.
Check.
Water system.
Check.
Provisions.
Check.
Ignition.
And
we're off.
we were just at Sunrise Point, close to Sunset Point, and we really thought that was like the iconic view of Bryce Canyon. Nope, we were wrong. This is Inspiration Point. Wow.
We're going really slow now, I think, because we've got some pretty sharp turns that we're doing. Look at how it drops straight off.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Picture.
What do you think, dear one?
Oh, I'm about ready to cry. It's really stunning.
All right, got that one in. I got all 4 screws in. That went considerably better than I thought it would. Now all I have to do is just tighten them all up and lift the microwave up against the cabinet. Well, what do you think?
That is so cool. It's so cute.
Yeah, it is a little small, isn't it?
It's push this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's big enough to just warm things up.
Yeah, we're not going to cook casseroles and stuff in there,
No.
but yeah, we'll be able to warm things up.
That looks really good, hon.
So one thing we wanted to look at was room for the
Yes.
stove.
Oh, it's going to be so nice to have that actually mounted, hon.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, that we can use it, and the other is that this is going to give more room in our storage.
Right. Yeah, our storage here, one of our shelves was almost mostly taken up by this. So you might be wondering how we actually cook in here. We have this portable Coleman propane camp stove that we store up on top of the cabinets, and we just bring it down onto the counter when we're ready to cook.
Huh?
So then the question was whether this is not a good situation with it right there.
No.
But if we can pull it out far enough, this protects it keeps the heat from going that way, and I think that'll be fine. All of this needs to be painted, and it's going to be very tedious because I'm going to be reaching all the way inside of there with a brush. So I probably will not be filming most of it because you won't even be able to see me painting inside of there. Yeah, long, slow, and tedious, but you get the idea. I wish I had a finishing nail gun. Make this so much easier. That looks better already. Well, here we go, dear. What do you think of the new paint?
This is going to brighten everything up so much in
Absolutely.
here. Oh, honey, it looks so good.
Yeah, you know, most of it was already painted,
Right.
but there was just enough stuff that it just didn't look finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so now you can see the floor is completely finished. Wow, this has been a long video.
Yes.
But what you have just seen is about 5 months of work on the
Yes.
to build this thing in about an hour and a half. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we have a complete playlist of the build, and I just took one small excerpt from each video. And if you're still here after an hour and a half, I assume that's it because you're interested in seeing this. If you'd like to see more detail, you can watch the playlist, which we will put here, and 47 videos. And each video goes into much more detail about each aspect of the build, and each video has information underneath of it about the particular materials that we use and that sort of thing. So if you're interested in finding out more detail, check out the playlist. Also, we showed you that in the middle of the build we took a tour out west.
Yeah.
And we spent about 6 weeks going all through Utah, southern Utah, Colorado. We also have a playlist of that. There's 19 videos on that playlist. So if you'd like to see the tour video in the middle of all of this, it was a fabulous trip, you can check out that playlist as well. So now that this is done and we've had the truck for about a year and a half, what do you think of it?
Oh, I was just sitting here thinking about how that I just can't begin to express how much I appreciate the hours and hours and hours of work that Bill has put into this truck. And the more we use it, the more I love it. It just works so well for us.
Yeah.
So I've gotten very attached to it, and I think it just works beautifully for us to be able to go places and be very comfortable. When we go in there at night and close the door, at the end of a good adventurous day, it just feels like home.
Yeah. And you know, we're not full-time RVers.
No.
We do have a home base. We have 2 home bases.
Yeah.
But we do take extended trips and shorter weekend trips, 4-day trips, 1-week trips, that sort of thing, which we've done several of those, and we plan on many more to come.
More coming up here, yep.
Yeah. So if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, you'll see those upcoming videos whenever we do a trip, which would be fairly often.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad Bill put all the work into putting this all together. It's really wonderful just to see an overview of what went into taking basically a regular uHaul truck that they had put white paint on and turning it into the RV that we have now.
Right. So, thanks for watching this long video.
Yes, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed. And if you're interested in those playlists, you're going to see them right here. The 2 playlists for the complete build and for the tour that we took in the middle of it. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Listen, we love you and appreciate you, and we will see you soon.